people don't know what's going on. But it's like 2008 Lehman Brothers all over again. Even the day Lehman Brothers collapsed and closed their doors, I went to so many of my friends that said, you're about to lose your jobs in 6 months. And they laughed. Every single one of them lost their jobs. Now you look at what's going on, and this is so much worse than what happened in 2008. It just boggles my mind. Yet, it's like the story of the Titanic. As it was going down, they said, hey, we got this plan. If the band keeps playing, and it was really the band's idea, right? That's the story, the way the story goes. We're going down with a ship. We're going to keep playing, and we'll keep people calm. And that's really what it is. If there's something to distract them, they're not going to know that the ship's actually sinking. And that's what's happening in this world, Set aside the metaphor of the ship itself going down. I hope not, because that water is cold. But you got to think that's what it's like. That if people just don't know, it's going to be okay. That's how the Federal Reserve acts. That's how the government acts. And they act that way because they know human behavior.
Sunshine, I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. And peers, white-collar wage earners, industry people, anybody in or around the real estate industry, and almost everything revolves around the real estate industry, but nobody's getting hit harder right now than lenders. I got buddies in the lending industry. I got buddies that just came in to the lending, they walked away from their 9-to-5 job to get into real estate. I had to walk away from a 9-to-5 job. When I came into real estate, it was a big risk, right? A big risk, because you base your cost of living on your earning power. And when you go to commissions only, it's a big risk. But what happens anytime there's a real estate bubble, people pile in. I still see people landing in the industry right now that started pursuing their credential or license to work in and around real estate before the collapse started, and they just got their license and they're like, I'm here, or I'm ready to work. Bad news, bad news. So for one of you, a subscriber, and thank you everybody who subscribes. If you're new, please subscribe right away. There's never been a more important time in history, centered and surrounded with like-minded people. Iron will sharpen iron. We're going to sharpen iron today as we read an article that one of you subscriber brought to my attention from Market Watch. They have great articles there, and it's a lot of frontline reports from actual people. It's one thing for people to make our predictions, right? But to hear what's actually happening, the blow. This is a pretty serious one. Young mortgage broker. Got to laugh at this stuff to wrap your head around the severity of it. It's like a built-in self-defense mechanism. This poor guy drank the Kool-Aid. He drank the Kool-Aid, and people in the industry believed this would last forever. He walked away from his regular paycheck, a secure job, to make a bunch of money in real estate. You see, the thing is, I always say that our rewards in life are in direct proportion to our contribution. This is so odd to me, because if you come into this market, if you've watched an episode of $1 Million Listing, you think it's all glamorous, that it's easy, anybody can do it. I'm going to make tons of money. And then if you get lucky and actually do, in this small little window of time that we had in the stimulus era, the bubble, and you based your cost of living off of pandemic income, euphoric income, casino climate income, that's your cost of living, you're in massive trouble right now. You drank the stimulus Kool-Aid. That's what happened out there. That's why for me, I just knew, I'm playing it safe. I'm going to get on the sidelines. Anybody wants to do the same, I encourage it, and I'll earn your business later. And there's deals playing out right now, because we examine rent ranges. Anytime we buy property, whether it's our primary home or otherwise, we make sure if we got a mortgage, our payment is in or around its rent range, preferably a cash flowing property if it needed to be. Millions of dollars to be made in real estate, but not by working in real estate, investing in real estate, but not at the top of the bubble, outside the bubble, not overpaying for properties, underpaying for properties, for pennies on the dollar, making sure their cap rates, they will rent for more than their payment. Easy math. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this one out. Unfortunately, people just fall in love with FOMO factory finishes and anything that shows, well, That's why we stage homes, to get you guys to fall in love with it. It's hard to show a property occupied by the owner and you got to look around their stuff. You feel like you're invading their property. Stage don't get out of your home. Let me stage it professionally. We're going to get it looking like a FOMO factory in here. And then we're going to FOMO people into over asking price. That is what happened out there. So today we're going to go ahead and jump over to this article to drive our point home. Then we're going to meet back here to wrap it up. Let's get started. 2022 has been the scariest year of my adult professional life. One mortgage broker reveals how the housing slowdown upended financial security. When mortgage rates hit 7% in fall, Austin-based mortgage broker Aaron Kovac was a little spooked. And here's a look at our young professional who found himself in a tricky situation. After a stunning rise in home sales amid ultra-low interest rates, the market just went absolutely silent. As the housing market slump drags on, fear has taken over. This is my first time going through a decline in the real estate market. 2022 has been the scariest year of my adult and professional life. It's the same story everywhere, not just with other lenders, but also with real estate agents, he added. And the stress from the dip in clients is weighing on his personal finances and mental health, Kovac said. All that uncertainty, wondering, where is my next paycheck going to come from? Where am I going to find the next buyer? For those working in the mortgage industry like Kovac, the situation on the ground is tense, to say the least. At this point, lenders are scrambling to find business. If there's a buyer out there in this industry looking to buy, every lender is fighting over them, trying to go as low as possible. It's like sharks smelling blood in the water right now. Kovac, who's a broker with Good Faith Mortgage, and his wife, who's also in the mortgage industry, have trimmed their household budget as much as they can to stay nimble. Kovac sold his truck, which saves him about $1,200 a month, and cut many subscriptions such as Amazon Prime and Netflix to lower monthly expenses. He said he also had to cancel multiple trips, including flights back home to Chicago for his stepfather's birthday, and his best friend's wedding, and Mexico City for his wife's grandfather's funeral. Aside from the mortgage on his current home, he's also paying off about $44,000 in student loan debt. But it's tough since he's self-employed and business is down. When he was previously with a bank, while he said it was less freedom, he at least was drawing a steadier salary and had medical benefits. All right, I think we get it. Let's get back to the studio so we can wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back. So that's what's going on right now in our industry. People in the lending industry, real estate agents, are in massive trouble. It's going to be a matter of time. Right now, they're like the guy said, it's like shark-infested waters. The amount of business they're doing is a small fraction of what they once were doing in the height of this pandemic, and they base their cost of living on pandemic-driven income, which is now a complete rug pull, a complete flip-flop. The fastest crash has started that we've ever seen. The decline in this market is quicker than the decline that we saw in the 2008 era for all our data-driven people. This one is worse. Throw the playbook out the window. The data will not save you, my friends. It'll come down to the psychology of sales, the psychology of people. And as a trained salesman, let me just tell you, the person that we heard from today is in big trouble. Big trouble, because this is what's gonna happen to many of them. They don't want to go back to their 9-to-5 job. They want to be the big, important real estate professional that everybody wanted to talk to. That's not them anymore. They're lonely and depressed. It's insane. Insanity. That's why I always say, don't base your insides on other people's outsides. You don't have to impress people. Insides on other people's outsides. You don't have to impress people all the time. Whew. Insane, right? It's insanity, this stuff. The realities are this, friends. What we're seeing now are people that work in the industry are going to throw stuff overboard. The guy threw his truck overboard. He's canceling. He's doing everything he can to hang on to the house and not have to go back to his day job. Eventually, he's going to have to go back to a day job. Unfortunately, he's going to go to a job market that the government's put the brakes on. They're going to increase unemployment numbers. That's their goal. That's their recipe for success in taming inflation, which is just ridiculous to me, because we can't even guarantee that's going to work. we might have let inflationary pain entrench itself so deep within the economic fabric that it won't work. There's no guarantees that these raising of rates are gonna work. There's no guarantee that raising unemployment numbers are gonna work. There's no guarantees in anything right now. So the people that were prepared for this mentally and financially are the only people that are going to go out and strike on any deals if and when they present themselves. And they're out there, they're presenting themselves. We're working with a lot of you right now, and we're examining the rent range and our cost to own. And even if we're an all cash buyer, we pretend if we put 20% down, what would our payment be? Would it rent for higher than that payment? If so, I want to see that property. If not, you're fired. Bring me an agent that's ready to show me properties that pencil out. Stop showing me properties that don't pencil out. Most agents don't even know how to do that. They're just like, what? We can't write an over asking price offer, and so I can try to make a quick commission check so I can pay my mortgage this month. That is what's going on out there. In final thoughts, I come to you as Brent as a content creator.